host, Isaiah Reyes.
How we doing, everyone? Ventura here.
And we are going to jump into the one tidbit of news we have this week, which turns out to be that the golf is no longer going to be sold in the U.S. And I'm talking
base
the
model
base
golf.
But for all of you GTI lovers and fans out there, we got a little, our heart sank a little bit when we read it. It was just like, wait, hold on, what?
As soon as you said that to me earlier, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? No.
No. The Golf R and the GTI will still be sold. It's just we're not going to have the base Golf, which, I mean, it's just the middle. And I'm going to be real honest with you. Like, there are better hatchback cars in base model form than the Golf.
For the money, especially the money, I would imagine. It makes sense. I get it. Because, I mean, like, truthfully, like, I would imagine if it's GTI, the best one they're selling is probably, like, the TSI, which still gets, like,
they were all TSI models for the last 2 generations of Golf.
Oh, okay.
Because the entry-level engine was a 1.4 liter turbo.
Just kidding.
So you had the 1.4 and then the 1.8, which were options in the non-GTI cars. Yeah, that were turbo. So I mean, you still
are they still doing the diesel
horsepower? No, so Volkswagen no longer sells diesel in America because they're
Oh, at all? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know, them cutting the base off. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, I'm not knocking it. If they don't get rid of the GTI and Golf R's, I'm fine. Because I mean, I'm not. If I'm going to find a daily commuter that's not sporty, I'm not getting a Golf. That's not the one I'm going to, truthfully. So, yeah, it makes sense. I would imagine they probably weren't selling at all either. So,
it's a niche car, really, like in that segment of vehicle.
and
it's not necessarily
segment 2.
you know what I'm saying, because you only have like things like the 5-door hatch Civic and the Elantra GT, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like you have, I mean, there's better ways to spend your money, but if you want something that's going to be solid and reliable and predictable, then you'd go there. Or you want something that is going to be kind of fun to toss around while you're driving, your daily commute, then yeah, I mean, I guess you could spend that money. But like me, if I just needed a runabout car right now and I had 9 to 12 grand to spare, I'd buy a used base Golf to run around town in. But I don't think you could justify spending that money new.
Yeah, because it starts at about 24. Like, I don't know. I think I'd rather.
They start at 24.
They start at 24. Or excuse me, 23, 23 too. But who's right? So, but who's really selling any base car at the actual MSRP sticker price? You know what I mean? There's dealer add-ons and stuff. So I'll say 24. Like, for 24, I can go get me not a Civic hatch, but I can probably go get a Corolla hatch for like 20.
Yeah,
I remember correctly. They're about 20, 21.
Like you could get like an SE with a manual for 20.
Right. Yeah. Yes. The SE, not the XSE, but you can get the SE one. Yeah.
SE with a manual, for like 20 grand.
Right. So
you can get the turbocharged 1.6 Elantra GT for 20 because they MSRP for 23, but no Hyundai dealer actually sells those cars at sticker.
Right.
So yeah, by the time you get rebates on an Elantra, I mean, you're going to be spending 17 grand.
Right. But even then, the Elantra GT got canned too. So I
mean,
it's the base. I think base hatches are not a thing. Are just dying. It's just it kind of goes alongside the wagon.
All the girls who used to drive hatchbacks, not to stereotype, they're all in CUVs now, and then all the people like us who buy hatchbacks, we want the sportier version, so we're going to buy the GTI anyway. So
Right, exactly. So I mean, it makes sense, especially not so much the Golf, but all the other cars have their sedan variants. Like just put their development and sales projections into the sedan because that's where it's going to sell anyways. So why have internal competition? You can just have it all towards the sedan. So it makes sense. I don't blame it. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a terrible move. But, hail Volkswagen Auto Group, who owns everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and then truthfully, Volkswagen is not missing out on anything. They're not.
Yeah, they have other money makers that they yeah. They're okay.
They'll be fine. They'll be perfectly fine. So yeah, I think the only other news really out, which I'm surprised we're really still dealing with, is Ford is having to recall another 3 million vehicles for the Takata inflator. What's interesting in this though, that's as late as 2016, which I thought it was caught. Yeah, I thought it was caught well before then, and they would have stopped putting them in, But
well, let's see.
whatever.
Okay, let's go back. I began writing service in 2015 when the recalls kind of were already hot. I could see where, 16 would be the cap though. It can't go any further than that because all the trucks from 2015 and Fiestas and Focuses were also getting Takata airbag recalls too.
But Honda doesn't have anything newer than like 2012. 2013.
I think
feel like
probably
it was a known
because,
issue
but
before then.
I think that's because they probably changed vendors at that point,
But didn't they only change vendors because Takata had this issue?
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's.
Now I think about it, I think the Corollas might have had them as late as 2015. Because there was a time period when I was selling that we couldn't even put used Corollas on our lot, let alone certify.
Yeah, there was a stop sell on them. Yeah.
And so the only way we could sell them was if we put them on the Mitsubishi lot. So like I'm talking like a couple months. Yeah, that was, now that I say that out loud, was kind of sketch. But
oh God, you better be hoping the Bureau of Automotive is not listening to this.
I don't think I've ever said the name of the group, so I think we'll be fine. But
you just did. Oh well, no, never mind.
No, I didn't.
That was prior to the podcast. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever mentioned it on the show itself. Whatever. Anyways, I don't care. Yeah, they put them on the Mitsubishi lot to sell them over there, and so there was, I think, a remedy, because I think there just wasn't a remedy available for a while. And then once there was a remedy, we were able to start bringing them back and certifying them. But I know it was in the newer body style, which I think, or excuse me, not that current body style, or that last gen Corolla, which I think started in 2013 or 14. So yeah, I guess fall too far off. Because you figured too, they probably actually bought those batches of inflators before production started.
Yeah, so think about it. You have how long has it been that they've been designing the car, like trying to put the car into production? So they've already designed the car to fit this specific airbag, which they already have in stock that they're just going to throw into the car. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised it goes that far, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just weird that Honda, for whatever reason, starts well earlier than some of these other cars, but maybe they just happen to benefit from switching, generations of something and be able to work around. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so it's crazy that it's still happening though. But I guess it makes sense because there was another round at Honda too. I don't know if you knew that, on all the, what are the like 99 Civics to like 02 Civics called?
The EKs.
No, not the chassis name. In accordance to the recall, where they're like a code red, or not, like it's not code red, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like an urgent warning cars or whatever.
I can't, whatever that label was for all the older cars, have another round of recalls where they have to. It's on the driver's side. They have to replace some bolts and then inspect another part of, I think, the already like twice changed recall part of the inflator. If there's something wrong with that inflator, then it gets replaced. It's not an immediate replacement; it's an inspection and then replaced. But yeah, that came out earlier this year, or excuse me, in 2020. I think it was like in the summer. And there wasn't a remedy for a while, and then it finally came out, I think, like September time. So, I mean, they're still dealing with these damn inflators. So, it's kind of really threw a wrench in everybody's shit.
Yeah, they just decided to mess everybody's party up.
Yeah, but it's so funny. Like, my director, he was like, yeah, like when the recall first came out and they were explaining to us, they were like, yeah, it was bad batching of metals between like 2005 and 2015, and he was just like, how do you have 10 years of bad batches of metal and not realize it? Like, where
my thing is, so like you're over here saying like how far it goes, like, wow, we made it all the way there, but I'm like thinking about how we only probably started seeing recalls come about 2012, 2013, and the cars go all the way back to
98.
So, like, so we just went 15 years without.
Like, you're like, there's no way that these cars were not getting in accidents and not deploying the airbags to not find out that these are like, bro, there's 10 accidents a day in Phoenix. You're telling me not a single one of those 5-car pileups didn't have a 98 Civic in it? Like, get out of here, bro.
Exactly. Like, bro,
like, come on.
You can't tell me that you didn't know this was a problem beforehand. Like, this is a long time.
Right. So yeah, that's cool. Well, it ain't our pockets. If anything, it helps us because we get money off of that. So we get paid off recalls.
I just hate that, like, if you ever own one of those cars and the person doesn't change the name, or like the registry never like gets a new phone number, you get the text messages from the prior cars. Like right now, I won't stop getting Takata airbag, like, hey, you need to bring your car in recall text messages for the Acura that I had when I was in Arizona.
No way. Oh yeah, my god.
Your 99 TL needs an airbag, and I'm just like,
that was a 99.
It was a 99.
Wow.
So I said it was in great shape, wasn't it?
120,000 really miles. Shape. But yeah, so that's kind of about it. Besides updates on electrical vehicles, which that's just like more like pumps are going to be available and blah blah blah. So whatever. That's kind of all there is for.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. I'm not worried about it
now. Well, let's jump into the topic then. The last couple of 2 or 3 weeks have been griping about the toxicity of the current card community. Reason being is, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of y'all have been seeing the videos where you see the street takeovers, and they're doing donuts in the middle of an intersection, or they're stopping a highway and doing donuts in the middle of the highway, and like 2 incidences of 2 that happened in, I think, Colorado, and 1 that happened in Dallas. They were doing donuts in the intersection. A pedestrian went through the takeover. They drove through it, and the person who was doing the donut crashed into the truck. The first time, nothing happened. The second time, they got shot.
Oh.
Like, the truck
who got shot? The one doing the burnout or the donut?
Yeah, the one who was doing the donuts. They got out the car. He got out the truck and shot the guy who was doing the donuts in the middle of the street. Like, guys.
That's aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, well, also, why are we... I'm not going to include myself in that. Why are y'all taking over public intersections to do donuts?
I can understand maybe like if you're like in a far away intersection, like just out in the middle of nowhere, cool, I guess. Even then, it's like, all right, bro. But it's like
it's a little sketchy in
the middle
even
of the
then.
city.
Yeah, on a public road, bro.
Right. Like, you're telling me you couldn't find a big empty parking lot where you guys do your normal car meets, just make a big circle in the middle to do your donuts?
Well, they always complain about getting raided. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, getting raided is different than
that makes it think an intersection is going to be any better.
Yeah, exactly. like at this point, if they even stop you and give you a ticket, it's going to be like some ridiculous charge. Like, bro, parking lot.
Right.
Or, find somebody that's cool with you doing it in their parking lot. Like, I feel like a lot of these guys are too scared to ask, like, the owners and stuff what they can and can't do. And it's just like, I mean, if you ask, but the thing about it is, I guess, on the flip side is you can't guarantee that those idiots aren't going to show up that rev and rev and rev and do
Yeah.
burnouts and who do the hood rat stuff that we try to avoid in the community, like
Mm-hmm.
even for say like, okay, this weekend, well, not even this weekend, like this week, I finally got my car back on the road and registered and stuff, so I've been driving it, and I went to a car meet on a Thursday just to stop by, like just to check and see, like, hey, do I know anybody? I did know one of the guys there, but I don't know. I don't remember doing this crap in high school because I don't know. I guess I was a little bit more mature as a car person even then, but we wouldn't get shut down like that for revving all night. Like,
They're revving all night.
bro, like bouncing off rev limiter, like 2 valve Mustangs and single cam Hondas, V6 Camaros. I'm just like, dude, like, can we just enjoy everybody's
Chill.
cars, chill, have conversations, do the friendly banter thing. But
Like
it's just,
I understand when you're leaving to, rev it up a little bit or, leave the parking lot a little gas heavy. Like, yeah, I
yeah,
get that. Go ahead and do that. Don't be the Mustang that loses control, but get a little squirmy if you will. I don't care. Like it's fine. Obviously, don't do it if the cops are around. I went to a meet last Tuesday or a couple Tuesdays ago. There was cops everywhere. It was like two motorcycle cops, two or three different Explorers, like one or two Tahoes, like everywhere, bro. They were all over the place. There was a lot of cars. But yeah, like there was this one Mustang. When she was done up, he had a blower on it and everything. It was a S550. But yeah, him and I think the GTR buddy he was with decided to pull out, and they didn't take off extremely fast, but the Mustang, it's loud.
yeah,
And sure as hell, he got chased by a motorcycle cop. Like, bro, you asked for that. You're dumb. Like, we all, you're fuck. We all saw your blower. We get it. Like, you just hurt yourself at that point. But,
exactly.
and I don't think, and that's not the toxic part. I mean, it's funny. Like, bro, pay attention to your surroundings. Like, everybody knew there was cops there, and you still did it. Like, that's your fault. There wasn't just one random motorcycle cop that was hidden the whole time. Like, we all knew you're dumb. But anyways,
You were just trying to see if
um,
they were gonna get you or not.
right. But yeah, like you said, just revving the whole time or stuff like that too. It's just like, bro, like when are we gonna understand that is where why people hate car culture sometimes? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. Or the attacking other people for their build. Like, don't get me like if there's someone who's just blowing smoke up everyone's ass about what their build is, or like we all seen that video where that guy's talking some nonsense about his V6 and Mustang, about how he has some switch to turn on the other two cylinders or whatever that guy says. Like, okay, that guy, yes, we can mess around with that guy because obviously he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But someone rolls up in a Civic that has the cats and mufflers cut off, cool, whatever. You ain't got to tear that person down because of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might look at it a little sideways, cool, but you don't have to tear that person down. You know what I mean? Or maybe take a step further than that, like females in the car community too. Like the whole sly comments of oh, is that your boyfriend's car? Or oh yeah, it's an automatic because you don't know how to drive stick. Like, bro, you probably don't either. Come on.
Right, exactly. You showed up in a
Like,
Challenger that's a
shut your ass.
5.7,
Right. Like,
bro.
oh. Like, bro, you probably don't either. Like, get out of here with that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That was the biggest part I've seen as of late. Is more so not so much the meets because honestly, there hasn't been too many meets here in Phoenix. They're just starting to start back up. Like, I actually saw another one that's starting up here in Cape Creek. That's on like size wise on the level as Pavs because Pavs never kicked back up. Um, but and I haven't, revving issues or anything like that. I've heard of some. Some people were saying that there's still those idiots that do the burnouts or whatever. But I just see a lot more like online and TikTok. Like you find there's a lot of car girls on TikTok that post stuff, but then they'll do the other side where you go through the comments and it's like, oh, it must be your boyfriend's car, or oh, you probably don't drive it hard, or all the other BS that goes along with it. And I'm like, bro, shut up. Like, I don't know, like,
Yeah,
why?
I mean,
What's the
there's
point?
also
What do you get out of it?
the other side of it too, which is like, not to be stereotypical, but it's like the hot chick who drives a stock 370 and hasn't done anything to her car in like 4 years, and still claims to be.
I don't know. As someone who is reluctant to mod up their car sometimes, or really truthfully, my wallet is reluctant to mod up their car sometimes. I don't think that's fair. If they love the car, they keep it looking clean, make sure no dents or scratches show up on it, and roll up, and they're proud of their car, then leave it be. I was that way with the Mazda.
I mean, I'm not. I wasn't even really going on to like dish on the girl, but like the guys who are just like sick build, or like,
I don't see that as toxic. That's
like,
just poking fun. Like, especially if you're friends with them or know that person. Like yeah, bro, you haven't modded your, like, you did it to me in the Mazda. Like, you had it for 2.5 years, but didn't even put an intake on it.
I'm still not even talking about that. Like, I'm still not even like talking about them like poking fun at them. I'm talking about them like gassing them because they're pretty, because they like.
Oh.
Feel me?
That's like, anything though. I mean, you see that in video games too. Like, you just got the hot streamer who's garbage at the game, but
just
has
like, bro,
a couple thousand viewers because they have a low cut T-shirt while they're playing. Like, it happens.
It's like, dude, come on, why, guys? Just why are we doing this? Like, cool, but come on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's just a lot of toxic stuff that I think we need to cut out. Like, which argument is so dumb, but some people get so adamant about it, is bagged or static. I don't get that. Like, why is that even an argument, bro? Like, and truthfully, I mean, let's be real. If someone's bagged, like, they're the smarter person. I don't care what anybody says. Like, they're choosing to, like, I don't think it's cool to have your bumper ripped off. I think it's stupid. Like, people try to hide that, like, oh yeah,
the smart ones. They are though.
like,
it's just
I'm static. My bumper gets ripped off every car. Me, like, bro, that's not cool. Your bumper looks like garbage because of it. Like, what do you mean? Like, this person was smart. They put the extra $300 on it. They can lift it up, get over their bumps, and then put it right back down. Like, they still have the same performance you're getting. Like, you're not, and that's the crazy part. Like, you can get bags that offer the same performance as most static setups. Like, and then even truthfully, if they're getting that low, they're not doing it for performance. But you know what I mean?
No, yeah, like, the fact that you can still have that option.
Right. So, like, to me, that's just, why wouldn't you go back at that point? But nonetheless, like, you're static, cool, I guess. But I don't know. To me, that's such an irrelevant argument. But people are so adamant about it. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's stupid. But I don't know. There's just, we just need to get to the point where we start really, I mean, in general, really, but just start respecting other people's, like, builds and likes and what they want out of their car. Just let it be. You know what I mean? Just roll with it.
Well, I mean, think about my situation. I mean, when I even thought about buying the car, I was considering the BRZ at the time, like the FRS BRZ platform, the 86 chassis. And all of my friends drove 86 chassis, and they're just like, no, don't get the Kia, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Like, just don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then I ended up buying the car, and I still got dogged on the build forever until the car got quick. And then all of a sudden, it's like everybody's changed their minds. It's just, I sometimes I feel like the weird thing in the car community is like, sometimes to gain respect, you have to beat people, or you have to, one up them in a certain way, which kind of sucks, because it's like, hey, dude, I'm putting all this effort into it. Like, it's still pretty cool, but you're bad shaming me, or you're car shaming me because it's not something that's common.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Like I said, like, I'm not blaming you for going after the guy who like I mentioned earlier in that video. Like, cool. Like, yeah, absolutely. And that's in really any field of topic. Just, yes, blow that guy who's just talking nonsense out of the water. Cool. But 95% of the time, that's not what's happening. So it's just like, why are we doing it? Like, I just never understood in general, what do you get out of life being so toxic? Like, I just don't get it. And then as far as like the street takeovers and stuff, like, we just got to be smarter. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Like, that's how we get such a bad rep. That's why cops have no remorse and just immediate reaction to just take any action against us when we're doing something. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, granted,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
see,
we're speeding, we're speeding,
and the
but
right, the perception though to me is it's like the bad apple spoils the bunch. So it's like the cars that are the mismatched, no cat having cut off Civics who go around revving everything everywhere. Those are the people that make us look bad. The people who are, calm and cool and collected with our cars when we're not, having fun with
right.
them. So it's just like, so we still have to suffer because our cars are modified and they look a certain way, they sound a certain way, but we're not the ones revving and doing burnouts and donuts in the middle of the
So
street
then it
or something.
ruins any possibility of us meeting, having meets, or getting together in parking
Right.
lots, and
Discussing
even
our
just
cars somewhere that, yeah, it's just,
right. Like, and then it's like, well, like, oh, I hope it was worth it having everyone hear your nasty ass sounding car. Like, cool, I get it. Like I said, you can be proud of everything you got, but like, don't ruin it for everybody else, man. Like, you don't get anything out of it. You hurt everyone else. No one's gonna want you there the next time you come through. Like, truthfully, if I had a friend that was doing that, I would stop rolling with him. Like, or her.
yeah.
Like, we're done.
No,
You're done.
yeah,
I'm
I've
not
done
hanging out
that.
with you.
I've done that. Like I've just stopped hanging out with people like that. I'm just like I can't risk really being not necessarily seen around you, but like caught in the wrong moment with you, and you're doing something stupid, and I'm there, and I'm just guilty by association. Nah,
Yeah,
I
no,
can't be
you got
guilty
me
by
messed up.
association in a situation like that. Yeah.
Nope,
No, no,
nope,
no, no,
nope,
no.
nope. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. We just, as a community, just gotta buckle down on it, call people out on it, and just do better.
Yeah. I mean, even yesterday, I had to fight a power battle that I didn't even like necessarily even ask for. Somebody had found the YouTube video that Tommy McCoy had shot of my car,
Mhm.
and the power numbers at the time with the chip were 277 horsepower. And I did that dyno. I mean, we did 4 pulls. It went from 250 all the way up to 277 once the car got warmed up. And I mean, I granted I didn't get a chance to post the dyno the dyno sheets, but I have them. Um, and they literally drug me through the mud because they said that it wasn't possible because I didn't have some of the proper quote unquote mods that they have on my car. And I'm just like, bro, this has been for years now. And I've been in this group for years, but apparently now they chose the fact because the video came up. Oh, we don't want another smoking tire video coming around because that one kid who drove the Forte and told him that he was making like almost damn near 300 horsepower with an intake. But yeah, I'm just like, I didn't. First of all, I woke up into that, but it's just like I had to fight and be like, hey, dude, like, I promise y'all that I'm not trying to be like that guy who's trying to overclaim horsepower. I promise you, I'm not trying to be that guy that's trying to be all like, oh yeah, my car's this, and oh yeah, my car's that, and yeah, I'm tuned by this special dude, and all this kind of stuff, and blah blah blah. But literally, it was just progress of my car, you know.
And
So I
it's
was just
not
kind
a
of like,
far-fetched number.
right. That's Thank you for pointing that out
Like,
yesterday. It's
that's
not a
what.
far-fetched number. It's not like I'm saying I'm making 300 horsepower on stock turbo. I'm saying I'm making 270 wheel horsepower on stock turbo, which is about 10 to 15 more than a car that makes the probably the same that I do with the intercooler and not even a Sturf turbo, but just the intercooler and a stronger tune. So I'm just like, I mean, I'm not over exaggerating. I
Right.
promise.
Oh, Yeah, bro, I'm at 330 to the wheel. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm almost at 400. Like,
I'm
bro,
like,
come on.
no, dude, I'm literally like quoting baby numbers. Come like, who even cares about a 200 horsepower car right now?
Right. That's the part that's funny too.
Like,
I
why
think
are we
I don't
fighting?
know.
We're all driving these 1.6 liter econo boxes that we decided to throw money at, and you're dragging me
Right.
because I'm saying I'm making a certain power number that you think is not possible, but you also don't live in my altitude. You don't live on my side of the United States. You don't have the same year car I bought, but yet it's just like I'm like there are such a things as factory freaks. I'm gonna be honest. There are cars that just come out of the factory and run better than other cars. It happens. They're built, the same, but some parts mesh better than others do.
Same, but different.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just it. I don't know. Maybe my car's just one of those cars, but I mean, I'm not. Again, I'm not saying I'm making 300 plus horsepower on a stock
Right.
turbo.
Like,
I'm like, first
come
of all,
on, y'all.
I'm thankful to Jesus Christ right now that I haven't pulled the head studs on that car at 65,000 miles and as hard as I've driven it for 6 years.
Right. There's always conversations in that the Mustang Facebook page, where it really always typically boils down to either the 10 speed versus the 6 speed manual, or when like people put like the GT 350 or the 500 rep bumpers and stuff on their base GTs or whatever, people will get drugged for that, and I'm just like, bro, like why?
So,
Just let it be, man. Especially like if their GT it has like is boosted, like those bumpers have much bigger gaps for an intercooler. So like, bro, it's a performance thing at that point, you know?
that's okay. I mean, my brother has a Z01 bumper on his fifth gen.
And it's probably for airflow, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got an 88 millimeter Pro Mod turbo on it, but yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, why? Why are we dragging people? That just doesn't make sense, man.
I feel like it's the insecure people that drag people.
Yeah.
The majority of the car community is pretty close knit. I mean, unless they have beef from prior engagement. Don't come at me because we're not the same. I was like, it's different if you know that you can come after somebody, but if you know that you can't come after somebody and you're just trying to
Don't do it. Now
punch
you're
the
asking
gun,
to be
just don't
dragged,
do
and
it.
you deserve that.
Yeah,
Like I can't say,
yeah,
oh, stop being toxic if you came at somebody and then they whooped your ass. No, that's sorry. Like
yeah.
that's not being toxic. That's not a toxic community thing. That's you talk shit and then you got your ass whooped and now you got to eat that L. Two different things.
No, I remember there was a funny story. There was we went out to go eat one night after a car meet, um, and this was prime time when I was still me and Jose were like still building the black Mustang and all that kind of stuff, and um, we were out eating. One of our friends in our car group, he had an Evo 10 that was like on tune and stuff, but it was supposed to be close to 500 horsepower, going to whoop me. And I was like, well,
The
not
Kia
me.
or
He
the
was gonna.
Mustang?
No, the Mustang. Mind you, the car's already been tuned. It's got the intake manifold. I mean, it's smacking. So I'm like, we're close in power. There's no way that you're getting walked this bad. Like I understand it's a turbo. I understand it's the Evo. I understand it's all-wheel drive. But I
And it's
know the
lighter.
gear ratio. Yeah, but I'm like, I know the gear ratio this car has. I know the potential it has. I know that you can outrun this guy. So, I was just like, we made that hit. Never saw him. Second to third, third to fourth. Never saw the guy. You know who I ended up seeing in my rearview mirror? Who came up next to my door?
Hmm.
Big turbo Sonata Geo.
Ah, yes. Good. Oh, what's
So
his name?
Geo, man, he
Yes.
came around me. Well, he didn't come around me. He came around the Evo, and he came around. He comes, and I'm like, man, that doesn't look like the Evo's headlights. And I'm like, it's inching and inching. I'm like, what kind of car? And I'm like, those look like familiar headlights. Sure enough, he gets up to my passenger door. I mean, we're at the top of fourth gear, rolling down the road. And he inches and inches, and I grab fifth gear, and we're like holding it. And I'm like, Lord, please don't let him pass me. Please don't let him pass me. We ran out of road. We ran out of road before he could pass me. But man, I was just like that big turbo, and that was before it was even forged, like built block and internals like it is now.
Lord
so,
Jesus.
That was a fun night.
That's crazy.
But
That's wild. Did I tell you what happened a couple nights ago when me, Logan, and Hugh went out?
no.
So we went out. We were in Mexico, and we happened to be able to line up 3 wide. So it was I was on the far right. It was Logan and Hugh was in the middle, and we were all just lined up, and we were just there. I think we were going probably about 60, and we all just took off. And I don't know if I told you this, like Hugh, depending on the speed we're starting at, he is keeping up, if not pulling away from me initially on the car. I can't keep up with it from a dig. Granted, that's because it's all-wheel drive STI. Like and then it's a winter right now, so I can't grab traction to save my life. Just wheel hop and fishtailing all over the place. It's bad. I also need to learn how to launch my car too. I haven't had enough practice. But anyways, nonetheless, we all just hit it. Boom, we go. And when that happens, this random Jeep. Actually, no, I lied. Flip where I was at. I was on the far left. Logan was on the far right. I'm in the very far left. Hugh's in the middle, and then Logan. So we hit it, and Hugh's keeping up with me, and then 120 comes around. No, like 100. That's when I start pulling away because it's motor at that point. I'm pulling away, and Logan ended up getting cut off by this Jeep. So Logan ends up behind us. And his motor's already built, so he's already 600 wheel horsepower at this point in his vet. Gets over, and I'm pulling away. I'm like, yeah, I'm pulling away from Hugh. And then I see these headlights come from behind Hugh, just completely, just like Hugh wasn't even giving the gas. Like he was going 60 still. That's what it looked like. Just whoa, comes over, passes him, comes to the side of me. At this point, I'm hitting 130 plus, and then boom, it's just gone, pulling like we had just took off from a 60 roll. And I'm like just watching it, and I look down, and he was still going. I was like, what?
I have nothing left.
Yeah, I'm topping. I think where I was in like halfway through fifth, and which is with the first overdrive gear I have. So I was just like, there's like, wow, it just blew my mind. Yeah, I hit my new PR in top speed that night too. But yeah, what did I tell you? 155 or 150, somewhere around there. So yeah, that was nuts. Just the way he overtook both of us. Wow, we're already well above 120.
Flooring it,
like,
and he's just gonna
flooring it. Mm-hmm. Good old built C6 for you, Z06.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, circling back, we got to do better as a car community.
Completely. No bars held. That's included at times.
Yeah, we all can be a little introspective with that. I do want to transition something a little more lighthearted to end the show off. So, in this little list of car news, there is a $8 million home in Texas that has a 10-car garage where everything is car themed, and sparked the idea of like, if we won the lotto or just came into some money, like, what would we build? What would our house look like? Well, so let's say we had 10 mil to just build.
Well, I mean, even if I showed that $8 million house, it's more like me asking her, "Hey, do you want a house with the garage that I'm gonna buy?" Which of course won't go well with her, and I still won't get it. But I'm just saying, even if we did have that money, my deal is I've always wanted a completely detached garage. So like, I'm cool with the fact that there's some of them that they have them on the hill, and you have the house that's like on the top of the hill, and the garage is at the bottom of the hill underneath. That's cool to me too. But I just like the idea of like having the land where my house and the garage are on the same deal, and I can just go into the garage and initially pick the car that I want to drive for the week, because
right.
I want lifts and I want, toolboxes and, everything that I'm going to need to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So I'm cool with that. But like I said, my house would definitely be the house away from the garage with like a, roundabout driveway. And essentially, let Grace have her way with the house. I just want a man cave and a studio with an organ. I'll be straight.
Oh, that'd be dope. So I actually thought about this not too long ago because I was like, man, I forgot the lotto was like, I don't know, some stupid like 800 mil or something like that. I was like, what would I do with that? I've just way too much car stuff if I've ever won the lotto. But as far as the house goes, like, how much do you think it would be to build a small little racetrack? How much do you think that would cost?
I ask myself that all the time. I don't think that much. I think if you find the right paving company,
I think it'd probably cost more to have someone design the actual track for you than it probably would be to lay it down.
Who are you gonna ask to design the track, bro? Just choose your favorite. The easiest way: choose your favorite corners from all of your favorite tracks, mesh them in.
You would have to buy. You would have to buy a fairly large plot of land. I mean, we're somewhere in the middle of Texas, or
that's what I'm saying. 50 acres, bro. You be straight.
Right. But yeah, so ideal if I got the money for it. So my house, the house is whatever. But we'll build the house. I'll have a man cave. Truthfully, I don't even need a man cave in the house because my ideal, just a nice house, solid house. I can host whatever guest rooms. Cool. In the back, or getting closer to my raceway at this point. It sounds like I'd probably have like this regular garage at the house for like the wife's car and like my
exactly,
super luxury like non-sports car. You know what I mean? Like the the Lexus, the ES 350 that's in there or whatever. Cool, whatever. And then you go back to the towards the raceway. I'd probably have like a big barn type garage. Or the big or even like RV garages is what sometimes they're called too. It just looks like a big barn. You know, probably 3-4 doors. Probably have 3-4 lifts in there, enough to park kind of cars off to the side, and then on the lift, and then you would have stairs to go up, and there'd be like a loft, and then that's where my legit man cave would be. I'd probably have a pool table, TV, probably a little basketball hoop thing, like just all out.
Just
probably a bed. I'd probably put a bedroom in there too in case I just I get kicked out of the house. Boom, I'll just go there. And then probably somehow in some way, now that I'm thinking about it, connect it to a racetrack. So whatever I'm building, I can immediately go try it out. And I'd probably do it in a way that like there's a drag strip too in there. You know what I mean? So like quarter mile, that's also integrated into the thing, so I can do both. Or if I have enough land, just put it separate. But so whatever I'm building and however I'm building it, I can test it out in either way. You know what I mean? That'd be like, oh man, I'd never have to leave my house.
That's dream house status. Yeah, all day long. I would say like if I hit the military, if I hit the lottery. I hit the damn military. If I hit the lottery.
Military? You mixed lottery and millionaire.
Bro, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if I hit the lottery, I would immediately just buy a bunch of like property that rents out. So I have a confirmed check at the first, a confirmed income at the first of the month, and then basically on the side, I was hoping you'd go in on it with me, but we'd have a shop and just chill. And that doesn't have to be our main source of income because we have the real estate. So I just gotta chill on that, and we chill at the shop all day every day. Because I mean, at that point, it's just money for us to mess around with cars. At that, I have my investments and my assets, but just run a nice shop. We have the experience; it'll be fine. And at that money, I could hire some good technicians that I know. Just come on board and be like, look, I'll pay you what they're paying you, probably more. Come work here.
Come on down.
You get to modify instead of repair. How about that? How does that sound?
Ooh, we could open up one of those shops instead.
Yeah, speed shop, bro.
Shoot, I'd be down. But yeah, just imagine, bro, just having your own racetrack. Like
Oh,
that's
dude, all day
baller
long.
status. Like that's, and it doesn't mean anything extravagant, but just something to just test out. And truthfully, I'm having a rough day. I'll just go bang it out on the
Yeah,
track real quick.
exactly.
Release the stress on the track, bro.
That'd be so amazing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's the dream right there. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, but then at that point, you'd have to have like an infinite amount of stock of tires for all of the
Ooh,
cars.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, probably like
Depending
two or
on
three
the
different tire machines, depending on different
you just
abilities or
have
different type of tires or
you have a
wheels, I should
relationship
say.
with ATD. You just call them to, hey, I need two such and such 245 50s.
Yeah.
I need a shipment of those tomorrow. I also need a couple sets of these Michelins. And
I probably own our own dumpster, like actual like full size dumpster to throw them in. Oh Jesus, it's a lot of money. But hey, we're millionaires. We got it.
exactly, just invest and we'll
Oh
have
man.
money. We'll be fine. We can do this full time. Have the shop.
Oh, we can use the track
Chill.
for this.
Exactly. We're just at home.
On some throttle house. Is it throttle house that has their own track?
Yeah, it's okay. We'll just go in together. We'll buy like 300 acres in Texas somewhere. And no one can find us.
That's a lot of land.
That's enough for both of me and you to live on and have the track. Nice little like
True.
half-mile commute to work on our land. The
True.
semis have entrance to drop off the press cars. It makes sense. It makes sense. We can do it.
Just whole company.
Yeah, exactly.
Whole
The
company on.
actual commute would have to be to the speed shop, and we'd have to go there. It'd be the only actual drive.
Right.
Which at that point would be fun because then we have to pick something to drive to the speed shop.
Right. Oh God, we can be. Oh Lord. Oh man, this is if you have that much money, you can be like, oh, let's take the executive SUV today. Let's take our our G wagon. Let's roll with the G wagon, or whatever. Or you know what, bro? Now let's take this